Probably the single most common question I get asked by men who want to engage with my coaching is, can you really, honestly, truly, pinky swear on your mother's life, swear that you can help me get rid of my approach anxiety for good? And I'll tell you a secret. I suffered with horrendous approach anxiety. It was absolutely crippling. I couldn't take any steps toward a woman I liked at all. So, I know what it must feel like when I look these questioning men right in the eyes and I say to them, I promise you that neither I nor anyone else in the world can get rid of your approach anxiety for good. So right now, you guys may think that I'm nuts, but I'm going to explain to you why trying to get rid of your approach anxiety is the biggest mistake most shy and nervous guys make. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It helps me grow my channel and helps other men to find my content. So I want to start this video by saying something very honest, something most dating coaches won't admit to you. I have approach anxiety still. It's worse some days than others. Sometimes I've had a few good social interactions and I'm feeling super confident, so I barely feel it at all. Sometimes I've had a rough work day and I walk into a bar and I see a woman that looks like my ideal personal version of female perfection. Dark features, sophisticated, intelligent, intense, confident. And my body just wants to lock up and freeze like a deer in the headlights of an oncoming car. I make this admission because in spite of this approach anxiety, I've approached thousands of women in bars. And yet here I am still suffering with approach anxiety. So rather than me asking you about getting rid of approach anxiety, let me ask you a far more important question. Would you be willing to keep feeling approach anxiety from time to time if it never stopped you from talking to the girls you wanted to talk to? Because this is the highest quality question you can ask yourself about approach anxiety. And it's the first question you need to ask on your path to personal freedom. And if you think this is an unusual proposition, consider how much anxiety you felt the last time you were in line for a particularly gnarly theme park ride. And yet, you probably still went on it. And what's more, you convinced yourself that it was actually fun. Anxiety is supposed to be a thing we acknowledge, and then if the anxiety is logically unreasonable, we keep on going. It's just your body giving you a warning to pay attention for a moment. Our brains are meant to assess the danger, then decide to carry on or to retreat. But somehow we've adopted this idea that anxiety is meant to be a barrier. So we tell ourselves a story that we have to find a way to not feel anxious, and we become desperate to find that solution. A solution that, short of drugs, simply doesn't exist. Therapists have long known that the worst way to deal with any unwanted emotion is to try to push it away. Whether it's depression, anger, grief, or anxiety, emotions are meant to be felt. Usually, attempts to suppress these emotions make them worse, or twist and distort them into more dangerous beasts. So the path to overcoming approach anxiety is to start with the mindset that you're going to start taking action in spite of feeling anxious. But that has to become a pattern of behavior before it's going to feel any easier. I often say to men, if you have debilitating approach anxiety, you don't have to start by approaching super hot women in clubs. You can start by approaching the group of older women and ask them where the ATM is. You can start at whatever level you feel some anxiety and social awkwardness. Start making a habit of regularly doing something that feels socially awkward. Don't hope that the awkwardness goes away like most guys do. If you realize you aren't feeling very anxious about it, up the ante. Ask some cute girls where the ATM is. Don't wait for the anxiety to go away though. You may have asked 10 cute girls over the last week where the ATM is and still feel a bit anxious about it. Remember, you aren't waiting for the anxiety to go away. You're working on your own willingness to feel anxious instead. The more willing you are, the better you're progressing. Stop using the feeling of anxiety about hot women as a marker for how you're doing. Finally, start approaching cute women in parties or bars or on the street, even though you feel anxious. There are few things that can feel as rewarding as knowing you feel super anxious about the idea of talking to a woman, thanking your body, and showing a complete willingness to approach her anyway. Because that is how you take mastery over your life. And it isn't just limited to women, by the way. I'm 100% certain all of you watching this video have areas of your life you aren't tackling because of anxiety, because of fear, because of shame. Your liberation comes not from stopping those feelings, but from being more and more willing to do the things you want regardless of how your body is feeling about them. That's like a muscle we build in our brains. And the more we exercise those muscles, the stronger they get. Over a year, any one of you watching can become a man who doesn't cower to his feelings. He still feels them, he doesn't suppress them, but they don't control him. At least they don't most of the time. Remember, you'll never be perfect at everything, so sometimes you should always expect to have days or weeks of weakness and submission. That's reasonable for absolutely everyone. So if you're sick and tired of your approach anxiety, stop running away for once. Find a way to embrace it. Find a desire to feel it and take action anyway, because that's where the magic happens. If you like this video or want to get some coaching with me on Zoom, I'll leave a link in the comments below. As always, I look forward to meeting you in my future videos, so don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.